Hello and happy Thursday, Canvas Miami Lakes real estate team. This is yours truly, Coach, coming to you one day earlier than normal of this group coaching presentations, being that tomorrow I will be taking it off. But anyway, I am here. I'm accompanied today by two agents, by Ricardo and Vanessa, and I'm excited today because today I feel like the success group coaching and the success team, we got into momentum. It was the first time that we've actually had a accountability session as a team. So that was good. I'm excited. And also this morning, Vanessa and I, we did some prospecting and we found a possible listing lead, and Ricardo is getting momentum. So things are happening. So with that said, I encourage all of you to engage, to connect. I'm making myself available here at the office 4 days a week. My coaching sessions are available on Tuesdays after 2, between 2 and 5, and Fridays for the most part 2 and 5 as well, and the group coaching from 12:30 to 2. So if you have any questions or you want to engage with the group coaching, productivity coaching, that's the best times to connect with me, and you can hit me up anytime. So take me for a spin, as I would say. So today we're going to be continuing on our series of the MREA book. And today we're going to be discussing, this is maybe turn out to be 2 to 3 parts as to the 9 ways that the millionaire real estate agent thinks. But more importantly, today we're going to be talking about the big why. And this is where you really need to get your hands around as to why is it that you're doing this business. So according to the MREA book, and the way this goes is I will read a little bit, I will share as thoughts come into my mind. Besides some of the notes that I take, I usually prepare before I get on this call. So today has not been any different. But I am foreseeing that the 9 ways a millionaire real estate agent thinks is going to be at least 2 parts, possibly 3 parts. But today we're going to discuss about the big why and perhaps the thinking of the big goals and big models, which is the foundation. So one more thing I recommend for each and every one of you to get a copy of the MREA book. This is what it looks like. And today I'm reading from page 71. So on the top of page 71, we're going to start reading. And it says, about 1/3 of the Think a Million formula is attitude and perspective. Now, I don't have my notes here as to what attitude is, but I'm just going to move out of the screen for 1 minute. I have it close by. And I'm going to share what attitude is, provided that I find it in all my mindset notes. So I got a long version and I got a short version. So the short version version of the attitude is a reflection of how we see somebody, something, and how we feel about somebody or something. So keep that in mind. It's a reflection of when you come across a situation or whatever it is that you're doing, what is that you feel about it. And again, it's the connection of the emotion with the feeling of the heart. Okay, so that's what attitude is. So going back to the book, It says about 1/3 of the Think a Million formula is attitude and perspective. Now, the 9 ways is not just a rehashing of popular cliches about positive thinking and affirmation. We've learned that when you're looking to change your habits, you need to be more precise and a little more on purpose. So the key word here is habits. Okay. So as all of you have been previewed previously in the WhatsApp group, I have posted there many times of the difference between a top producing agent and an average agent. I've also did a series on those areas of the difference, and those you could find on the Miami Lakes Canvas YouTube channel. Okay, and one of them is habits. What type of habits are you creating for yourself? Okay, hopefully they're good habits as far as this real estate business goes. Now, if you want to improve the way you think about your real estate career, you'll have to start by zeroing in on some key specifics. In breaking down the way the millionaire real estate agent thinks into 9 specific categories, 2 categories, think powered by a big why and think big goals and big models, clearly stood out from the rest as the foundational mindsets that almost all top real estate agents have in common. So again, the difference between a top producing agent and an average agent, mindset. That's at the top of my list, okay? If there's 7 items there, it is mindset, it is consistency, it is habits, accountability, time management. I added focus and the will, the self-will to succeed, okay? So here we are, we're touching, as you could see, just in this one page, we're touching on 2 of the differences between a top producing agent and an average agent, mindset and habits. Now, let's continue reading on page 72. The last paragraph says, now make no mistake about it. While some of the 9 ways the millionaire real estate agent thinks are more vital than others, all are essential to creating a high level of success that can weather storms and the test of time. The first and probably the most powerful way that the millionaire real estate agent thinks is to think powered by a big why. So again, the big why, it is the reason why you're doing this business. Now, going back to the book on page 71, there's a figure here that says the 9 ways a millionaire real estate agent thinks. The foundation are the top 2. Think powered by a big why, think big goals and big models. The other ones are supportive. Think possibilities, think action, think without fear, think progress, think competitively and strategically, think standards, think service. But for today, we're going to go through the big why and hopefully get into the big goals and big models. I don't promise you, because I want to keep this within 30 minutes. So right now I'm 8 minutes, 9 minutes into this call. I want to keep it between 30, 35 plus minutes at the most. So I'll continue reading here on page 72. Okay. And I'm going to ask 3 questions. When it comes to your current production, good or bad, here are 3 questions that I would like to ask you. How do you feel about it? Why did you choose to work in this business? And what keeps you going? Again, regarding your production, good or bad, 3 questions. How do you feel about it? Why did you choose to work in this business? And what keeps you going? Now let's read page 72. Above all else, we've discovered that one thing all high achievers have in common is they're working for a big why. The big why is about having a purpose a mission, or a need that in turn gives you focus. High achievers always have a big why powering their actions. So here's in this book, there is an example of a, let me see here how I'm going to phrase this or how I'm going to summarize this for you. All right. So most people, when they're going on vacation, the last day, so let's take one step back. Let's say you're going on vacation tomorrow. Okay. Today is Thursday. You're going on vacation tomorrow. Today, you're going to pull out all the stops. You're going to manage your time. You're going to get up early. You're going to accomplish everything that you need to do, because let's say if you're taking a flight, you have to be at the airport by 7 o'clock in the morning. Or if you're driving, to wherever it is, you want to get on the road early, but you're going to do everything that you need to do today. You're going to take care of all your emails. You're going to follow up. You're going to run whatever final errands. You're going to take the pet to the kennel. You're going to pack up your bags. You're going to run a tight schedule today. Okay. Now, when you do that, that propels you to success for tomorrow morning, for you to be at the airport by 7, or you be on the road by 7 o'clock in the morning. So imagine if you did that with your business, that you prioritize your schedule on everything that you need to do on a daily and regular basis as part of consistency and habits. Imagine if you did that. And here's the answer to this. How does this happen? On page 73, the first paragraph there, it says, because a big why brings big focus and big energy, and a little why brings little focus and little energy. High achievers always have a big why. And there, if you happen to have a copy of the book, and if you're following along, you see it there in big letters, okay? Are the biggest letters in that book, in this page here. You can't miss it, all right? So let's continue reading here on page 70, page 73. Now imagine if you could live every day with such purpose. How far could you really go? Is your motivation to work every day the kind of motivation that can take you to your highest possible level? Okay, let's pause for just a moment. For the next couple of minutes, I'd like you to just think about what really motivates you, then write down your thoughts. So if you're following along on this call, after the fact, if you're listening to this recording, I want you to take a piece of paper out, and I want you to write down as to what really motivates you, okay? And this is part of the big why. Now, I'm going to share with you, when I was introduced to this subject, to the big why concept, to the MREA book, and for those for Vanessa and Ricardo that are here, here's the reasons of my big why, okay? And I'm just going to read a handful of them, or about 7 of them. Vacation with the family. Having the ability to choose what I eat and drink and where I eat and drink. Not having to worry about money for anything, whether pleasurable or in an unfortunate crisis. Being able to give gifts to those I love without worrying about a budget. Having good health. Scheduling flexibility, having the option of choosing my own schedule to do what I want to do when I want to do it. Retiring with a nest egg. Making a difference in people's lives. Funding God's kingdom. Becoming a motivational speaker. Becoming a life coach. Influencing people to go higher than they ever thought that they could soar. Sowing seeds of time, talent, and treasure. Having options or margin to do what I choose to do or lead to do. So imagine if you woke up one day and you had the choice, and this especially for dual career agents. Imagine you waking up one day and you having the choice to either stay in your current occupation or choose to work real estate on a full-time basis. And if you're in the full-time real estate business, imagine waking up one day because you've been successful, because you've paid the price in this business and you've been able to build this business. And now you have the choice whether to show up or not to show up, or to take a 1, 2 month, 3 month vacation. And that you have a business that is going to, that whether you're there or not, it's going to be productive. Again, that's my goal. I had a 10-year window. I'm on a 2-year plan right now. But that's my goal. That by this time in 2025, that I'm going to be able to slow it down and I'm able to have a team in place that whether I show up or I don't show up, that my team is going to be productive based on the work that I've put in over the last 25 years in this business. Okay. And I hope that each and every one of you have a big goal and a big why to propel you to do this business, because otherwise it's just going to become a job. That's the God honest truth. Now, for me, business goals are part of a larger personal strategy designed to push me to my limits and make me grow. This is on page 74. Page 75 is, I've never worked for money. This is Gary Keller, and this is his way of thinking. And he went here through a conversation with a friend of his, but I'm just giving you the last part of this conversation. On page 75, it says, I've never worked for money, never even really thought about it. When I wake up in the morning, my big goal is to do my very best, to be my very best, and to grow as much as possible. Any money I've made is simply a byproduct of my constant pursuit of personal growth. That's why I set big goals and work so hard. Now, the truth is, you can achieve those things faster than you think. Then, if you're not careful, you'll be left with a lot of life and little reasons to live it. Now, I'm going to pause here because if you have this book, here on the top, it says, it's not about the money, it's about being the best you can be. And Gary Keller is going to get into this subject in the next couple of pages. But I'm going to tell you that when I picked up this book, and as I started reading through, as I started thinking, and my level of awareness, that's what I made the commitment to do, to be the best that I'm capable of being on a daily and regular basis. And this, for me, has been a process of 10 plus years, although it started almost 30 years ago. But for the last 10 years, it's just, or better said, the last, 10 plus years, I would say, it has been at another level, okay? So now I'm going to turn to page 76. And here we're going to do a lot of reading, okay? So page 76 says, you might try thinking of it this way. Being your best is actually a goalless pursuit. You can never, ever really reach a point where you can truthfully say, I just can't grow anymore. And what is so exciting is that this kind of big why can create a life that literally explodes with limitless possibilities and unlimited personal growth. It is where the unimaginable you dared not dream becomes the imaginable you dare to live. And as far as money goes, when you are always striving to do the best you can do, you will always be making the most money you can possibly make. Here in the second paragraph on page 76, whatever you place foremost will be your big why. If it is the right kind of big why, it will also tend to lend foundational support to all of your other whys. Your big why can and will do the same. Same thing for all your other whys. It is the why that pulls all whys. In the end, I'm a strong advocate for placing personal growth ahead of any big why you have. It's simply that powerful. High achievers know this. They know that when they decide to be their best and place that at the forefront of all otherwise, it will pull the rest in its wake. Just as important, the last paragraph here, just as important, striving to be the best you can be will keep you from pulling up short and setting for good and letting just good enough be the theme of your life. In his best-selling book, Good to Great, Jim Collins declares, good is the enemy of great. Let me repeat that again. Good is the enemy of great. Being good is not good enough. You got to aim and you got to strive to be great, to be the best that you can be. Few people attain great lives in large part because it is just so easy to settle for a good life. And that, again, that's average. If you strive for a good life and you settle for a good life, that's average. That's the majority of the people that you do life and you will come across in your lifetime. Just people just having a good life, being average, but they have failed to live for a purpose. They have failed to strive for a big why. The vast majority of companies never become great, precisely because the vast majority become quite good, and that is their main problem. I have come to accept that one of the greatest challenges in life is pushing to be our best when we are already pretty good. The surest way to combat that natural tendency is to make being your best and doing the best the point of everything you do, to make it your big why. Robert Browning, here again, page 77, Robert Browning is often quoted as having said, but a man's reach let me rephrase that. Robert Browning is often quoted as having said, but a man's reach should excel his grasp, or what's a heaven for? Significant whys led by the big why, be the best you can be, will have you reaching for the sky every time. And that, my friend, it ought to be your goal, your ultimate pursuit. It ought to be this, being your best ought to be the calling of your life. This ought to be the fuel that ignites you, the fuel that wakes you up every day, the fuel that keeps you up in the middle of the night thinking as to how far you could reach, how much could you do. But the key is, for what? What's the big why, and what's the purpose that you're doing what you're doing? Because remember, it's about being your best and doing your best. It's not about the money. It's about being the best you can be. So with that, I challenge each and every one of you to jump on board. I am here to help you. I'm here to assist you. I'm here to encourage you. I'm here to push you forward. I'm here to make you feel uncomfortable. Yes, there's going to be times I'm going to make you feel uncomfortable. Yes, there's going to be times that I'm going to ask questions, breakthrough questions. Okay? But trust me, I'm doing this to help you reach your God-given potential. Because again, for me, that is one of my goals. It is, as I could share it here. Let me find it. Give me a second. It's sharing the blessing of life in abundance with others. So join me, be a part of the productivity coaching program. And I promise you that from where you're at now, 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, you're going to be If you're at a level 5, I promise you, you'll be at a level 7 or 8. And that goes in your business, in your personal life, your relationships. Okay. Because again, I don't coach real estate only. I coach to the whole. And if you hang out and if you're around me long enough, you're going to walk away with lots of added value. That I promise you. So until we see or speak with each other, take care, have a great day, and may God bless you.